The legendary Pokemon Tapu Fini is coming back to Pokemon Go's raid battles, and in this video, I'm going to be going over how you could take it down and whether or not it is even worth going after. Hey, how's it going everyone? Count Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. So we gotta talk about Tapu Fini. This is a legendary Pokemon that used to be incredibly relevant, especially when it came to PvP, and the reason for that is because many saw it as kind of like a beefed up version of Azumarill, which you could use for the Ultra League as well as the Master League. But as of right now, it is no longer relevant. Not a lot of players use this Pokemon, especially when it comes to raid battles. It's just not really that good, unfortunately. Some people still want to raid for this Pokemon specifically for the shinies, or maybe it's because they just feel like it's a cool Pokemon. Yeah, I totally get that. But in terms of actual gameplay relevance, there really isn't much uses for this Pokemon anymore. It has definitely fallen off, especially when it comes to the Ultra League, which is where it used to be really strong. And I think because of that, this is definitely the least valuable Pokemon, especially among the Tapu legendaries. But regardless, let's go over the counters and the strategies for taking down this raid boss, and then afterwards, let me talk about more reasons why this Pokemon is just not that good. Tapu Fini is a duo water and fairy type Pokemon, which means it's going to have 3 weaknesses, which is going to be grass type, electric type, and poison type. It's also going to be resistant to fighting, fire, bug, ice, dragon, water, and dark type attacks, so avoid bringing any Pokemon with those moves. And then of course, if you want perfect IVs of Tapu Fini, the one you're going to want to look for is 1632, and if it's weather boosted, it's 2041. And Tapu Fini is going to be weather boosted by both cloudy weather as well as rainy weather. Taking on Tapu Fini is actually not that difficult. You don't need that many trainers. If you want to secure the win, you just need a total raid group of 5 trainers, but you can duo this raid boss as long as you bring the best counters. And let's go over those right now. So, in terms of the Mega Evolutions, you have 2 solid options. Mega Sceptile is by far going to deal the most DPS, but also consider bringing Mega Gengar with poison type attacks. Those are both really good options when it comes to Mega Evolutions, and there's really no other Mega that you could bring. And of course, when it comes to non-Mega Evolution Pokemon, Kartana is going to be the absolute best Pokemon to use against Tapu Fini, and the reason for that is because it is going to be weak against grass type attacks, and of course Kartana is both grass and steel, which is going to be resistant to a lot of Tapu Fini's moves. And then another really great option is going to be Shadow Thundurus, the Tarian form, that is going to deal a lot of DPS. And then Regieleki is another really good Pokemon because of just how much DPS it could deal. Now let's say you do not have any Shadow legendary Pokemon or anything like that, you could also go with Roserade with either poison or grass type attacks, or also Magnezone is a really solid Pokemon to use as a budget counter. Tapu Fini is a very straightforward raid boss. Just bring a bunch of grass types and electric types and you'll be good to go. However, I will say that this is not a relevant raid boss, so you don't necessarily have to spend Stardust to power up any kind of grass type or electric type. It's not necessarily going to be worth that. But if you do want to take down this raid boss and you do have these counters, it may not hurt to bring them because they're definitely going to be the best DPS options. Okay, so in terms of taking down Tapu Fini, it's actually a pretty easy raid boss. You just need electric types and grass types. Very simple. In terms of the electric types, we've had quite a few good ones that got released over the years, and some of those we actually saw in raid battles very recently. Like for example, Regieleki. This is one of those raid bosses where Regieleki is actually going to be really good. And then of course when it comes to certain grass types, those are also going to be really good up against Tapu Fini, in particular Kartana. That is a Pokemon that is pretty much a direct counter to Tapu Fini. It has grass type attacks which are going to be super effective, and it also has that dual steel type which is going to be resistant to a lot of Tapu Fini's attacks. So if you do want to take down this boss, yeah, Kartana is going to be the best answer. But I will say in terms of Tapu Fini not being a good raid boss, yeah, that is pretty true. It's not necessarily that good. It's not going to be a great raid attacker by any means. It's going to be outclassed by a lot of different water types and fairy types that are out there. And then in terms of PvP, it used to be really good, but it's not necessarily that good anymore. There's going to be a lot better options, especially when it comes to certain leagues like the Ultra League as well as the Master League. You're going to find yourself at a disadvantage if you use this Pokemon. So Unfortunately, this is not a raid boss that's worth going after. That's my own personal opinion. You're better off just saving those raid passes for future content, especially with Pokemon Go Fest just around the corner. If you're going to Pokemon Go Fest, like any of the in-person events in Tokyo, Copenhagen, as well as Chicago, you're going to need those raid passes for much better Pokemon. And then of course, with the global Pokemon Go Fest, there's likely going to be a ton of raiding in that event, especially when it comes to Mega Mewtwo X and Mega Mewtwo Y. So I would hold off on spending any raid passes for a boss like Tapu Fini, but if you do want Tapu Fini, yeah, the raid guide that I provided in this video, that should be enough. But yeah, it's just not that good. I mean, there are some people who might say the case for raiding Tapu Fini is just because of how easy it is, that it's going to be a great raid boss for you to farm rare candies and rare candy XL. I totally get that, but I still feel like you're better off not raiding Tapu Fini. Maybe you could do your daily raid pass every day, but you know, if you have a whole bunch of premium raid passes, just hold on to them. You don't need to spend them for a boss like Tapu Fini. It's not going to be worth it in my opinion. But yeah, I think it's just all about patience. You really don't have to raid every raid boss that's out there. If you still do not have Tapu Fini, yeah, get the Pokédex entry. But again, use your daily free raid pass. I would just not use any premium battle passes on this raid boss. It's just not worth it. Yeah, that's it. That's really all I have to say regarding Tapu Fini. Again, I could be completely wrong. Maybe there is a reason for you to get this Pokemon. I just really can't think of a reason for you to get this Pokemon. I mean, even Tapu Bulu, that was not even a great Pokemon itself, but at least for grass types, it's a pretty decent Pokemon until we get Kartana back in raids, right? Like, I don't know about Tapu Fini though. There really is no reason for you to get this. There's non-legendary Pokemon that are going to be better raid attackers. Yeah, just skip out on this raid boss. That's my suggestion. Save your raid passes for all the raid bosses that are coming next month. But in any case, yeah, share your thoughts regarding this raid boss down below. Are you going to go after Tapu Fini? Is there a reason why you would want this raid boss? Definitely share what that is in the comments below. I'd definitely like to know. So yeah, share it and let's have a great discussion. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to support my channel, best way you can do that is hitting the like button for this video, and also make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already, and also turn on that notification bell so you know exactly when I upload videos. Also, consider checking out the links in the description below. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me, you can do that by joining my Patreon, because I add all of my patrons to my Pokemon Go friends list. So yeah, if you want to do remote raids with me, if you want to open and send gifts, all that good stuff, go and check out my Patreon. And that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself today, and I'll catch you in the next video.